Hi everyone, now we are going to see what is the Blasius theorem statement. Let a fixed cylinder be placed in a fluid which is moving steady and irrotational. Let x, y and m be the components along axis and the moment about the origin of the pressure thrust on cylinder. Then x minus iy equal to half I rho integral over c closed integral over c dw by dz the whole square into dz. Then moment m is equal to real part of minus rho by 2 closed integral over c z into dw by dz the whole square into dz. From this definition we have to prove these two conditions. Proof: let us consider it as a graph, x-axis and y-axis. Let this be the fixed cylinder placed in the fluid. Now consider 2 points P and Q. Let this arc PQ be denoted as C and its length, arc of the length be ds or del s. Then the tangent to this arc make the angle theta with this x-axis, and the pressure which is normal to this tangent makes the angle theta plus pi by 2, since this angle is pi by 2. Let P be the pressure at the point capital P. This small p is the pressure and capital P is the point. And let del s or ds be an element of an arc C at P. Let x and y be the components of pressure thrust acting on the cylinder del s. We have to find the resultant pressure for the whole part. Now we have to find what is the pressure component and the pressure force to find the resultant pressure. First let us find what is the pressure component P along x-axis, which is given like Px is equal to P cos pi by 2 plus theta. Cos pi by 2 plus theta will be minus C sin theta, which is equal to minus P sin theta. Let it be equation number 1. Similarly, the pressure component P along y-axis is Py is equal to P sin pi by 2 plus theta. Sin pi by 2 plus theta will be P cos theta. Let it be equation number 2. We have obtained the pressure component. Now we have to find what is the pressure force for this elementary length PQ. Then we will find the pressure force for the whole part, that is the resultant pressure thrust. Now pressure force along x-axis will be Pfx, denoted by Pfx equal to minus rho sin theta ds cross 1. That is, we know that pressure is equal to force by area. From this, force will be pressure into area. Here this area is nothing but length into thickness. The length will be ds, considered as ds, and the thickness is unit thickness. So Pfx is equal to pressure into area. Pressure is minus P sin theta into area will be length into thickness. Length is ds into thickness is unit thickness. We get minus P sin theta ds. Let it be equation number 3. Similarly, pressure force along y-axis will be Pfy equal to P cos theta into ds cross 1, which is equal to P cos theta ds. Let it be equation number 4. To simplify these two equations, we are going to use the relationship between arc length and angle. Let cos theta equal to dx by ds and sin theta equal to dy by ds. From these two, we get cos theta into ds equal to dx and sin theta into ds equal to dy. Apply these two values in third and fourth equations. We get Pfx equal to minus P dy and Pfy equal to P dx. Using the pressure component and the pressure force obtained before, we are going to find the pressure force for the whole part. Let x and y be the resultant pressure force. X is equal to minus integral P dy. We have obtained the pressure component for elementary length PQ. Now we need the pressure force for the whole part. So integrate that pressure component. Let it be equation number 5, and y is equal to integral P dx. Let it be equation number 6. Now consider the moment of the force. Mf is given by R cross F. The determinant form I, J, K, X, Y, 0. Since the component of pressure are X, Y, 0 and minus P dy, P dx, 0. Since we have obtained the pressure component for X and Y. After simplifying this determinant, we get m is equal to k into x p dx plus y p dy. Let it be equation number 7. To get the whole part moment force, we have to integrate this term, right? So m is equal to integral p, taking common p, so p into x dx plus y dy. Let it be equation number 8. In all these terms, x, y and m, we have the pressure, right? So we have to find what is the pressure. For that, we are going to use the Bernoulli's equation for the steady flow. It is given as P by rho plus half Q square is equal to A. From this, what is P? Which is equal to A rho minus half rho Q square. Let it be equation number 9. Apply this P value in X and Y. That is equation 5 and equation 6. It becomes X is equal to minus closed integral over C. P value will be A rho minus half rho Q square into dy. Similarly, sixth equation, y is equal to closed integral over C, A rho minus half rho Q square into dx. We need the value x minus iy. Consider x minus iy. This is our obtained x value and this is our obtained y value. After expanding the bracket, taking common terms, minus integral over C, A rho into dy plus I dx plus half into closed integral over C rho Q square dy plus I integral over C rho Q square into dx. We know that for the incompressible fluid, the rho will be constant. So this x minus y is equal to minus integral over C A rho into dy plus I dx plus half rho into integral over C Q square into dy plus I dx, taking integral over C rho Q square common. Now consider the first term only, integral over C A rho into dy plus I dx, expanding the integral which is equal to A rho into dy under closed integral plus I A rho x under closed integral. We know that closed integral will be 0, so these two terms will become 0. So this term, integral over C A rho dy plus I dx, will be 0. X minus iy, which is equal to the second part only, that is half I rho into closed integral over C Q square into dx minus I dy. From this equation, we can see that we have obtained the half of the proof. X minus iy is equal to half I rho into integral over C. We have to replace this term only, Q square into dx minus I dy. Now consider the moment equation. M is equal to, we have obtained the 8th equation. M is equal to integral P into x dx plus y dy. Apply the value of P in this equation. So we get m is equal to integral over A rho minus half rho Q square into x dx plus y dy. Expand this integral. We get A rho into x square by 2 plus y square by 2 under closed integral minus half into rho into integral over C Q square into x plus iy into dx minus I dy. This term will become 0 since it is a closed integral. The second part only remains. This is the real part. So m is equal to real part of minus half rho into integral over C Q square into z into dx minus I dy. Similarly, we have obtained half of the proof, that is m is equal to real part of half rho into integral over C z. We have to replace this Q square into dx minus I dy. So to replace those two terms, we have to use the streamline equation, that is given like dx by u is equal to dy by v, which is equal to dx plus I dy divided by u plus iv equal to dx minus I dy divided by u plus u minus iv. We need the term dx minus I dy. Cross multiplying, we get u minus iv divided by u plus iv into dx plus I dy. Now in this term, we are going to multiply and divide by the term u minus iv. So dx minus I dy equal to u minus iv cross u minus iv will be u minus iv the whole square divided by u plus iv into u minus iv. We know that a plus b into a minus b equal to a square minus b square. Here our a will be u and b will be iv. So u square minus I square v square, which is u square plus v square. Dx minus I dy is equal to u minus iv the whole square by u square minus u square plus v square into dx plus I dy. We know that what is the complex number z is equal to x plus iy. From this dz will be dx plus I dy. Applying dx plus I dy value as dz, we get the 12th equation. Also, we know what is the q vector, which is equal to ui plus vj. Squaring this, q square is equal to u square plus v square. Similarly, this term is a known term, w is equal to 5 plus I psi, and also w bar will be 5 minus I psi. dw, differentiating this term will be dw is equal to d5 plus I d psi. From this, dw bar is equal to d psi minus I d psi. From these two, this I d psi will be vanished. So this dw is equal to dw bar. Since this w is equal to 5 plus I psi, we can write dw by dz is equal to minus u plus iv. From this, taking this minus to this side, minus dw by dz is equal to u minus iv. Let it be equation number B, and this q equation will be A. Now apply those values in this 10th equation and this 11th equation. The 10th equation becomes x minus iy is equal to half I rho integral over c q square into this is dx minus I dy value u minus iv the whole square divided by u square plus v square into dz. In this term, what is u square plus v square? We have obtained as equation B. It is q square. Q square will be cancelled. So also this negative square will be positive. So x minus iy is equal to half I rho into integral over c dw by dz the whole square into dz. We have obtained the first part proof. Now to prove the second part, that is in the 11th equation, apply the required values. M is equal to real part of minus half rho into integral over c q square z into dx minus I dy. Apply this dx minus I dy value, which is u minus iv the whole square divided by u square plus v square, that is q square into dz. Q square can get cancelled. Remaining will be m is equal to real part of minus half rho into integral over c z into dw by dz the whole square into dz. Similarly, we have obtained the second equation, hence the proof.